Hello and welcome to Carandbike. I am Seshan Vijayaraghavan and this right here is our long-term Kia Syros. Now this car has been part of the Carandbike garage for about 3 months now. And over this period, I have used it as a daily driver, support car for our shoots and even for intercity commutes. And it is now time for the car to head back home. But before that happens, I wanted to tell you how has it been to live with the Kia Syros for over 6,000 kilometers. What are the pros, what are the cons and everything in between. But before I do that, if you are new to the channel, do hit that subscribe button. And while you're at it, hit that bell notification as well, so you never miss an update from us. Now looks are subjective, and while some of you may like the Syros, some of you may not. But one thing is for sure, it will grab you all the attention. In fact, I have lost the count of people who have stopped and asked me about the Syros just because of the way it looks. In fact, I am a big fan of quirky looking cars and the Syros certainly fits the bill for me. Now, if you want more, then there are some flashy bits like these all LED lamps, especially the headlights, the DRS and the tail lamps. You have some bold looking dual tone alloy wheels and a very sturdy roof rail as well, which is usable. So it overall adds that modern and robust look to the Kia Syros.
But I'll also be the one to admit that the design has some flaws. The LED headlights and taillights of the Kia do look cool, but being at the extreme corner will be the first to come in contact with any obstacle and thus can be easily damaged. Something I found out the hard way during my time with the SUV. And while I am not a big fan of these flush-fitted door handles too, they do come as standard if you are a fan of such things.
Yes, you have to be extra careful with the lights, but Kia has made up for it in other aspects of the design. For a sub 4 meter SUV, it has pulled off a really smart design trick over here. The short overhangs and the long wheelbase makes it look bigger than it is. The ground clearance at 190 mm is more than enough to handle some of the crater-sized potholes and speed bumps that Mumbai has to throw at you. And overall cabin is spacious enough to make you feel that it belongs to an SUV of a segment above. Now the cabin is large enough to accommodate 5 adults in relative comfort. However, the fact that in some of the higher variants you get both sliding as well as reclining function on these seats is a welcome addition. Now in this top of the line model, you get 4-way power adjustment for the driver's seat. However, the height adjustment is still manual. But what really impresses me is that features like a power steering with tilt adjustment, or all 4 power windows, an auto dimming IRVM, central armrest, electrically adjustable ORVMs and rear AC vents. All of these features come as standard right from the base model.
Go up the variant lineup and depending on which one you choose, you will get features like push button start, one-touch up-down windows, sunroof, front ventilated seats, rear ventilated seats, 360-degree cameras, level 2 ADAS and much more. In short, the Kia Syros is hands down the most feature-rich sub 4 meter SUV you can find in the market today, right from the base trim to the top of the line model.
Now what also stands out for me is the excellent visibility you get from inside the Syros' cabin. The near upright windshield and the large windows gives you an almost 180-degree view with minimal blind spots. The auto dimming IRVM is great to use during night drives and even in rainy weather, and the 360-degree view camera that you get over here is not just best in the class but also the best in the market is what I feel. Now if you're looking for modern tech and features, then the Kia Syros has you covered. Even from the entry-level HTK trim, you get this 12.3-inch touchscreen infotainment system with wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. And then you have a 4-speaker sound system for the base model, but as you move up the range, it gets better with more speakers. In fact, this top-of-the-line trim offers you a really sweet 8-speaker surround sound system from Harman Kardon, which I feel is one of the best you'll find in any Kia car.
The double D steering wheel feels nice to use and comes with multiple controls. On the higher trims, you also get a 12.3-inch digital cluster along with a 5-inch display panel for the aircon. The HTX Plus even adds a dash cam with dual cameras. There's also a wireless phone charger and multiple Type-C ports at the front and rear, though you do not get a Type-A port.
Now, other prominent features include ambient lighting, puddle lamps on either side, and you also get this voice-activated panoramic sunroof. Then again, Kia offers you connected car tech in the form of Kia Connect 2.0, and you also get in the higher variants drive modes which include Eco, Normal, and Sport, and traction modes that include snow, mud, and sand. The only notable miss is the absence of rain sensing wiper even on this top-of-the-line variant.
The Syros also offers what a lot of other made-in-India Kia cars don't: a proper 5-star safety rating from Bharat NCAP. And that's because you get 6 airbags, electronic stability control, ABS with EBD, 3-pointed seat belts for all, and about 14 other active and passive standard safety features. Rear parking camera is also standard, but it's the top-spec HTX Plus option that offers the 360-degree camera system that I love so much. And it is also one of the few in the subcompact SUV space that offers you Level 2 advanced driver assistance systems.
Now, in terms of engine options, the Syros offers you a 1-liter turbo petrol option and the 1.5-liter diesel. Now, I am driving the former, and here it comes mated to a 7-speed DCT automatic. The other option, of course, is a 6-speed manual. The same goes for the diesel, a 6-speed manual and a 6-speed automatic torque converter. You do not have an IMT option. You do not get a naturally aspirated petrol. So it is more or less complicated compared to some of the other cars like a Sonnet or a Hyundai Venue, where you have multiple engines and multiple transmission choices. Having said that, I would have preferred if Kia had at least offered the naturally aspirated petrol here, at least as an option, because this turbo petrol engine is not the most fuel efficient. It is a spirited engine, it likes to be revved, it is a rev happy engine, and as a drawback, it doesn't offer you enough fuel efficiency. In fact, I will get to the fuel efficiency numbers in a bit. I have done a proper real world testing for both, so I will let you know that as well. However, that is one of its faults. But if you look at the plus point, it is quite fun to drive, it is spirited, it is quite peppy. And if you are looking for something which is more of a driver's car, then the petrol engine might be something that you will pique your interest. If I had the option, I would rather go for the diesel, because the 1.5-liter diesel engine that you get with the Syros is one of the most fuel efficient engines you will find in this segment. We have seen that engine in multiple Hyundai and Kia cars, and in all those vehicles it has offered great fuel efficiency. And if you are looking for something frugal, if you are looking for something which is like a mile muncher, and you plan to use this as a long distance intercity commute car, you regularly go on long distance driving, then the diesel will certainly fit your bill. It gives you that efficiency, at the same time it gives you that punchy performance. The power output over there too is not bad: 114 brake horsepower, 250 Newton meter of torque. Overall, the diesel is certainly something that I would personally pick if I had to buy the Kia Syros. Now, coming to how the Syros behaves on road, you see in the lower speeds the Syros feels a bit stiff, the suspension feels a bit stiff, and it is a bit taut, and at times it can be a bit uncomfortable. That means that in higher speeds the Syros will feel a bit more planted and sporty, but that's not the case. At higher speeds the ride becomes a bit bouncy, and it can be a bit unsettling at times, especially when you are driving at triple-digit speeds. I think the Kia should work upon the suspension system and fine-tune these small things. Now, coming to the fuel efficiency, as I mentioned earlier, I have done a proper real-world range test for this Kia Syros, and the numbers I got from this turbo petrol engine was something that I did expect. Now, in city conditions, I drove this car in a 80-kilometer city loop, which was a predefined loop, and the speeds were kept anywhere between 20 kilometers per hour to maximum 50-55 kilometers per hour. At the end of the cycle, the total fuel efficiency I got from the car was somewhere a little over 9 kmpl, 9 kilometers to the liter. At the same time, when I took it on the highway, the loop was extended. The highway loop was a little bit about 100 kilometers, and there the speeds were kept between 85 kilometers per hour to 95 kilometers per hour. Average was 90 kilometers per hour. And at the end of that cycle, the efficiency I got from this car was somewhere around 13 kilometers to the liter. Now, it is something that I did expect from this turbo petrol engine. As I mentioned earlier, it is not the most frugal engine out there, but it is decent enough, which means that on an average, you can get anywhere between 11 to 12 kmpl from this car, depending on your driving experience, depending on your driving behavior, depending on the road conditions. So that is not a bad number.
The Kia Syros is offered in 6 key variants and around 13 different trim options depending on engine and transmission choices. Prices for the petrol variants begin from 8,67,000 rupees and go up to 15,29,000 rupees. The diesel range at the same time starts from 10,14,000 rupees and go up to 15,94,000 rupees. All prices are ex-showroom.
So after living with the Kia Syros for a few months now, here's the bottom line. It may be a sub 4 meter SUV, but it never really feels like one. The space, the features, the road presence all make it stand out in the segment. And while it is practical enough to carry out the daily duties, it is premium enough to not make you second guess your choice. Now, if you want a spirited performance, yes, you can go for the petrol. But if you are looking for something frugal, then you can go for the diesel too. It is punchy, it is torquey, and great to drive as well. And one of the most fuel-efficient engines you will find in this space. And the price difference between these two is not that big. And talking about pricing, although yes, the Syros might feel like it is on the premium side, most of it is justified by the features list. What do you think about the Kia Syros? Let us know in the comments. And if you have any more questions about it, you can put them down in the comment box below and we will try to answer them. And for more such videos, keep following Car and Bike.